How's it going, guys? Good morning. It is 10:07 in the morning right now. I'm out here at the Catalina drop yard, Catalina cold storage drop yard in Miami, Florida, right by the Miami airport. And I'm picking up a trailer because I have my first load off of home time. It's a 7-stop load if you include the pickup. So I got an 01, an 02, an 03, an 05, an 06, an 07, and a 90. So it's actually a 8-stop load. For Lowe's, I gotta pick up at Costa Farms in Hialeah, a little bit south of Miami, and it's taking me all the way to Ohio. And this is going to go into the trip planning video, like it's gonna be a companion piece to the trip planning. So this load pays a little under $2,700, $2,600 and change for 4 days of work. It's not ideal, but as I mentioned in the past, you gotta look at the bigger picture. This load is getting me out of Florida. I'm already in the hole, so it's gonna get me out of the hole. Hopefully, it should get me out of the hole or almost out of the hole. And I'm going to be in Ohio, which is a great area to start running hard. So I'm fine with it. I'm actually happy with that load. I wish it didn't have as many stops, but I've never had a load with that many stops, so we're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna enjoy it. But yeah. How's it going, guys? It's the Peruvian Trucker back with another video. And yes, I know I already spoke in the intro, but I didn't do my classic back with another video shtick. So here we are. We're back from home time, back in that grind after 15, I won't say much needed, but definitely well deserved days of home time. Well, yes, I just finished my first load. I'm still parked here at the back of the Lowe's, my 8th stop. So I had 1 pickup and 7 drop-offs, all in Ohio. I started driving 2 days ago, all the way to Ohio from Miami, Florida, and I made it. I'm actually done early. I had, out of the 8 deliveries, I believe 6 or 5 were scheduled for today and 3 for tomorrow. But I made it to the last Lowe's with 30 minutes to spare. And it was only 3 pallets, so they unloaded me in like 5 minutes. And that's the great thing about this load. I mentioned in the intro that I was going to enjoy it. I've only delivered to Lowe's facilities twice. Once, probably on my 2nd month solo, when I did a repower and I had 3 stops to go for the person that I was doing the repower. And this time, and thankfully I had the experience of the repower, because I knew based on that I could just make it all the way to the Lowe's, to the first stop, and stay there for the night to get unloaded first thing the next day while taking my 10-hour reset, which I did. I did that last night. So this morning I was done with my O2, or my first stop, and I had a full clock. And as I sit here being done,
4 hours and 56 minutes of remaining drive time.
I have 4 hours and 56 minutes of remaining drive time, but like, I believe it's 8 hours of on-duty time. And now I'm gonna head out to the truck stop, get a shower, and wait for the next load. And I did get a shower yesterday before I went to my O2, my first drop-off for the night. But something after I took that shower told me to not change my clothes. And I'm glad I didn't, because I would be pissed. sweating off. I mean, I'm a trucker, I'm supposed to work, but as a reefer driver, I get to sit in air-cooled bliss while I'm driving, and I don't really sweat that much. And so I try to make my clothes last 2 days, you know, every time I shower. Well, this morning I had to use the pallet jack to unload at one of the Lowe's stores. So I'm just glad I got to use the same clothes from yesterday, because I need to get as much mileage as I can of the outfits that I have.
Disgusting!
But anyway, that's neither here or there, I guess. One thing that I'll admit is that this load was the perfect load to get me off of home time. Plenty of time to get here. Like I mentioned in the intro as well, it paid like $2,600 and change for 4 days of work. Really 5. It picked up on a Friday at 6 o'clock, delivered all day Monday. Now, in this case, it works because it comes up to per mile around over $2 per mile. But I mentioned in the intro that it was going to be a companion piece to the trip planning video, because yes, revenue per mile is important, but you also got to look into or at the number of days that you're going to be working, because the revenue per mile may be worth it, but if you're going to be sitting for a day or 2 days, then you realize that you can get other loads with the same revenue per mile that are more efficient and productive, if that makes sense. In the particular case of this load, it worked perfectly for me because it got me out of Florida. I'm in a better area now, but also I didn't take into account that I wasn't going to be able to just run hard off the bat. I thought I was going to be able to, but I started driving from Miami, and I didn't even make it to Tampa before I was pulling over. I just didn't feel like driving on the first day, which was disappointing. I didn't realize until the day after that, when I started my second shift, that I didn't even make it to Tampa. I was disappointed at myself. And I also encountered some traffic because I was driving during the day, which motivated me to shut down. So when I was 600 miles away from my first delivery, I just shut down and I started driving the last leg at 3 in the morning, and that's when I was back in my groove. You know, I like driving nights. I had to get back into that, but I like it because I did 600 miles with no problem in 10 hours and 2 minutes. I had 58 minutes on my clock, and I was already at my O2. So yeah, that was an issue. Just, I mean, not realizing that I was going to have to get back into my groove. But also yesterday, when I stopped at the Pilot to take a shower, I wasn't feeling confident about backing in between 2 trucks. The entire time that I drove the last 2 days, I parked at the rest areas, which it's pretty easy to park at. But yeah, yesterday I went around, I probably lost 10 minutes of drive time looking for a parking space in which I was comfortable parking at. And I ended up caving and parking at a reserved spot that did have an empty spot next to it, which gave me some room. But yeah, I was almost willing to just drive to my delivery address without taking a shower, because I didn't want to go through the hassle of backing in between 2 trucks. and that's pretty much it. That's the first load. I feel like I'm back in my groove, ready to get to the next load finally. Ready to run hard. It took a couple days, but yeah. On a more personal note, I guess I should just tell you, Trucker Jesus is no more, guys. I'm sorry, Mario. You're the main one to call me that. I'm sorry, Lyle, if you watch this. No longer the fourth musketeer. But I had to get rid of it. I was growing my hair for a while with the intention of donating it, but it reached a certain length and it wasn't growing anymore. And I didn't mind the way it looked, but I hated the mess that it made on the truck. There was hair everywhere, all over the place. So it was time to cut it. And my stylist caught me on a good mood, and she suggested what are they called? Highlights. Yeah, she suggested highlights, and I just went for it. I'm not one to take chances, especially with my hair, but there's gonna be some changes that I'm gonna be talking about in the next couple of videos that are gonna have me stay in the truck for a really long time. So I figured that if for whatever reason I didn't like it, I'm really gonna be shielded inside the truck for a while. So it's nothing sometime can't fix. But I actually like it. It's really nice. I'm sorry, guys. It's just weird talking about my hair. But some people have names for it because of how I look. So, yeah. Last thing, I mentioned in the intro that I was in the hole. So yes, I am in the hole on paper, but I talked about this in the past. Just because I'm in the hole on paper doesn't mean that I'm actually in the hole. I'm perfectly fine. My expenses for April are already covered, and I have some money saved up for emergencies. But the thing with Prime, for those who don't know, is that Prime won't let you pay your truck note. They'll just wait for the next settlement to take whatever money you make, which I'm perfectly fine with that. I just wanted you guys to know or have clear that you don't have to be in the hole. Just because you're in the hole on paper, that doesn't mean that you're actually in the hole. You have to have your finances in check. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully I'll get a load before the cutoff to make some money on top of getting out of the hole in one settlement. But if I don't, I'll be fine. It's expected. That would just be a plus if I get to, make some money on top of getting out of the hole. But even if I don't, by next week, I'll be back making money. I don't even know what I'm looking at. But yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's the update. This video is getting a little bit longer than it should have. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you guys for all the comments in the April Fool's video. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had a really good time making it, if you guys didn't tell. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.